Today we got a couple of tech news items and one tech update. The news items, one is very interesting, one kind of hits close to home, and I don't know. And then the update is a little disappointing. Let's talk about them. What up, everybody? It's George Langenbeer with Silver Hammer Surveillance. Here on the channel, we talk tech and we talk security. Today, we're talking a couple tech news items and we're talking one tech update. Moving on to news item number one, Tesla. Tesla is building a humanoid robot called the Tesla Bot. Kind of crazy. 2021, and we're finally getting into the world where robots might take over. So very interesting announcement. Mr. Musk talked about all sorts of things, but he tells us we shouldn't be scared, that these robots are just going to help us with dangerous, boring, and repetitive tasks, whatever that means. They're going to be able to tighten bolts and carry bags, and it looks like a human. It's about 5'8" as far as the height goes, 125 pounds, 8 cameras in the face. That's how it's going to see. All very interesting. So, he kind of talked about in his announcement, how we shouldn't worry. He talked about how it only goes 5 miles per hour and we could, outrun it and probably overpower it. I mean, he's talking about these things. We all kind of worry about robots. Yeah, they could be awesome for productivity. And, we already have digital assistants in our lives. Imagine if our digital assistants were physical beings. That's kind of what they're going for. But, I think about it. I'm a crook catcher. I catch crooks. I'm a security guy. I mean, what else could we get these things to do? Or what else could criminals get these things to do, more importantly? I mean, if they can carry out these types of tasks, I mean, there's just a lot of unanswered questions. But, of course, in the wrong hands, it's kind of what everybody's always worried about since the beginning of time. If AI takes over, what are they capable of? Could they be deadly weapons? Could they be used for military purposes? In the wrong hands, I mean, it's just very interesting to think about. Both the good and the bad. Let's talk about some of the other numbers he mentioned. It'll carry 45 pounds. It'll deadlift up to 150 pounds. It's got some power to it. So on the positive side, the possibilities are endless. I mean, it could do all sorts of cool things for us. But again, in the wrong hands, I just don't know. So prototype is expected in 2022. That's just next year. They're obviously, even in his keynote about it, he's kind of talking about how we might be scared of it, and we shouldn't be. Like I said, talking about outrunning it and overpowering it, all very interesting. But he's trying to make it seem very harmless, and I hope it is. And I hope it's very. I mean, it's going to be very cool to have a physical digital assistant. And I could only imagine, just from my background in spy equipment and hidden cameras, what some people will try to get these things to do. It's all very interesting. But anyway, Tesla Bot coming next year. I'm sure there's much more information to come, but all very interesting. All right, second news item, Amazon opening brick and mortar stores. The online retailer Mega Power kind of going the other way with a brick and mortar retail store. They're going to kind of be in line with other department stores. They're going to be about 30,000 square feet, a little smaller than your typical department store, but they are going to have departments like apparel and electronics. And it's very interesting. People love to shop online, but they also love to have a physical store to go to. So a lot of people are surprised by this. I'm not, because they've already tried this with grocery and books. They've got their, self-serving grocery store where you go in with all their cameras and, you don't even really need employees. But anyway, they're already kind of tried this. So this is not shocking to me. Sounds like the first locations are going to be in Ohio and California. And how is this tech related, you might ask? I mean, think about it. Apple's got a store. Google's just trying to open their first store where you can actually physically go in and try their products. So this definitely applies to Alexa. I really don't know if they're going to have everything in there like Apple products and Google products or other tech products, but it's going to be a huge opportunity for them to display their, Echo Shows and their smart displays and their speakers and all their Alexa devices. And this will be really their first chance to actually have them, with their stamp on it, in an actual retail store for their specific customers to go in and try these products out. So yeah, that's how it's tech related, but very interesting. Now, me personally, this kind of hits home because I worked at a regional retailer. A lot of you know that I worked loss prevention and caught criminals, and the wife was the store manager at that same retailer. That's how I met her. But, we are a retail family. My daughter currently works in a retail store. So this kind of hits home to me because, when in the regional retailer I was at, at first we were worried about Walmart. Walmart would come into one of our towns and just kind of wipe us out. And it would some of our towns we'd fight back and we'd make it, but other towns, Walmart could shut us down. Well, Walmart was nothing compared to Amazon when they started. So the online market, kind of just took over. And so between Walmart and Amazon, a lot of our stores suffered. Now our retailer that I worked for, Shopko, doesn't exist anymore. And yes, there were several reasons for that, but one of them would be the online presence of Amazon and of Walmart and some others. But we need to fight for our retail stores. As I said before, we love to go into them. We love to have those stores back. But, so Amazon having one is great, but is it going to affect the rest of them? Are we going to lose all of them and just have Amazon? I don't know. But it hit close to home because we used to worry about Amazon a lot in the store I worked for. Here at Silverhammer, at least I don't have that problem. But, the wife still works at a retail store today. The daughter still does. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. But it's very interesting. Moving on to our final tidbit of the day, which is an update on the Matter smart home platform. What is Matter? Well, first of all, I'll go back and check out some of our videos where I explain what Matter is. But Matter is basically a unification of several smart home platforms. So you got Google, Apple, Amazon, several others. Whereas before you had to worry about if you bought a device, a smart home device, did it work with the Google Assistant, Alexa, Siri, or whatever? You had to worry about, which one it worked with. And sometimes you couldn't buy a device because it wasn't part of your ecosystem and so on. Well, Matter was going to solve that problem. And basically, if you bought a Matter device, it was going to work with everything, which is fantastic. And still very exciting because it's still coming, but the update is that it's delayed. It was supposed to be here in the fall of 2021, so just a few weeks, but it's still been delayed to 2022. So for example, Apple, in their keynote about iOS 15, which comes out in just a few weeks, they were talking about Matter and how the devices were going to kind of change the game. And so even Apple was, who's usually a little snobbish, was excited about Matter and talking about it coming in the fall. Well, there's some products like Philips Hue, one of the biggest smart home devices out there. Any devices that were kind of on board from the beginning, those are going to still come out, but in the first half of 2022 instead of the fall of 2021. So any of the products that were already in the pike in that will still be a little earlier than others. But one of the reasons it was delayed is number one, because of COVID, kind of slowed things down a little bit. But number two, apparently there were 29 new companies that wanted to add their hat to the ring. And so that's cool that there's going to be 29 other companies that kind of want to get involved in this, but those companies won't be able to get certified until the first half of 2022, and then their products will come out in the second half of 2022, which really isn't much different because obviously there's going to be a lot of different products that come along as Matter keeps going. So in 2023, there will be new. So it's not a huge deal, but a little disappointing because we really thought we were going to get to experience a little bit more of it in the fall here shortly. Me personally, like the Google Nest cameras that just were announced. Check out my videos on that. I'm a little disappointed they weren't part of Matter. I was really hoping they were going to be. Some of my past videos about those being released, I talked about. Hopefully that's what they were waiting for, but they weren't part of it. So I don't know if that was part of the delay or it's just part of Google just being difficult. But anyway, I was kind of hoping they were going to be part of it. But a lot of products still are, and it's still very exciting. We just got to wait till 2022. Either the first half for some devices, second half for these 29 other new ones coming out. So still very exciting, just a delay. All right, so there you have it. A couple news items for the week. One update. One of them kind of very interesting. The other one kind of hits home. I don't know what to think about it. And then the last one, a little disappointing, but still exciting. Let me know what you think in the comments about all the above. I'd love to hear what you think about the Tesla bot, Amazon retail stores, and the Matter delay. Disappointed, excited? Let me know. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Here at Silverhammer Surveillance, we're going to keep talking tech and we're going to keep talking security. So until next time, peace and love.